Hello, my beautiful souls. Welcome into your daily read for Monday, January 23rd, 2023. I do want to thank you so much for joining me for this reading, but as always, do keep in mind this is general for the day for all 12 signs, so just take what resonates and leave the rest behind. Now, I did channel 4 random messages to speak upon this Monday, first of which is this will be easy. This will be easy, whatever this ends up being for you. You're anticipating it to be quite easy for oneself, feels very future oriented for a lot, but it could be specifically individually for this specific day. Horribly put and a bit repetitive, but as well paying close attention. This could be you paying close attention to one of other people, something that's meant to grow and prosper for oneself, and or you could feel as if one, if not multiple people, are paying close attention to you. There's a sense of just a lot of observing throughout this day and watching. And they're saying waiting, but as well golden value, and look within, all right? So I feel like your golden value is taking a highlight in regards to one, if not multiple situations. I feel like in the eyes of others. And I feel as if at certain points throughout the day, you're pushed to look within for whether it's an answer. I feel as if there is a push to not prioritize your looks as much throughout this day, because there's a feeling that you may be very picky when it comes to that, or very judgmental towards oneself. A need for positive self-talk, and they're saying image all the meanwhile, but I feel as if when that takes a focus and you feel dissatisfied or pinpointing an imperfection, say on your face or just your physical figure for some, there's a need to look within and focus more so on how you're feeling rather than how you're looking. But also there is a focus on what didn't work out. Could be in comparison to what you're wrapped up with throughout this day or what just comes to mind. And Spirit saying this is a beautiful thing. You need to recognize that this was protection all the meanwhile, all right? It wasn't meant to last. Or even for some, it wasn't meant to really begin. But let's continue and pull from the Light Seers deck. They're saying there is levels of victory throughout this day to be experienced. I feel like you're being noticed for your mind. What else do we have for Monday? I feel like it's a day where you will just kind of not want to, I feel like I struggled to say that. You're not going to feel like making eye contact for whatever reason. You're just not going to feel like staring into the soul of others. Interesting. I just feel a bit heavy. The Knight of Wands and the Four of Pentacles, I feel as if there is a very controlled way about how you're getting things done, feeling as if you want more control in a situation than you feel or expect to have. But Spirit's saying it's going to work out in your favor, don't you worry. I feel as if you're being noticed for somebody who is going to do things by the book to an extent, but it feels as if someone's intuition is telling them, or just someone just feels that you're going to end up putting your own twist onto something, or just you're a bit set in your, they're saying old dog kind of ways, right? You can't teach an old dog new tricks, at least not to the fullest extent. But I just feel like they're correct by assuming this. Does that make sense? But it doesn't mean you're not going to follow the rules or do things 100%. You get the point. You're going to be doing things at least partially the way you've been acquired to up until this point. But I do feel as if there's levels of creativity, an electrifying sort of vibe about your energy throughout this day, but it doesn't feel overwhelming. I feel like you're drawing people in, and then you don't want to make eye contact, or you just kind of feel like going through the motions and maybe potentially sticking to one's lonesome throughout this day. But Spirit's saying when you do bond with people, there will be this simplicity about it that feels refreshing, right? And just remember that you have a good sense at this point along your path, from all you've been through, all of the ups and downs with connections, to sense who to open up to and who not to, all right? So you may just have to tap into that, especially if you're meeting new people or just in the beginning stages of certain connections, or one situation as a whole. But I do feel as if there's a lot coming towards you as far as your spirituality goes, as far as expectation goes. I feel like there is a lot of compliments and praise coming through for your independent way of being, for being talented. I do sense that it's a day where naturally this highlighting the message that we got before of golden value, golden value. So I feel like it's a day where you're seeing oneself being valued in more than one way, potentially more than one situation, and this making you feel quite, they're saying electrified or just at ease with what the future entails for oneself. Beautiful. Because Spirit's saying there's even more of that lying ahead, even if you know that a situation is temporary, all right? That value, that praise, compliments, the reminder of your worth is going to come through moving forward in just different ways, all right? But it's a day where there's no shortage, excuse me, of spirituality. I slipped up saying that purposely. I feel as if Spirit is going to mess with you being drawn to this reading at least a little bit throughout this day, if not a lot for some, right? But I feel like you are as well being pushed to tap into your intuition with whatever situation you feel that lack of control in, or you just feel as if it's very structured for some. But I also feel like you need to tap into your intuition when it comes to when you feel the need to do something or not, okay? Especially when it comes to honoring your savings, right? Your future financial goals, and not spending money on something you know you don't need or just feels frivolous. But I do feel as if in one way, shape, or form, there is this peaceful way about you and potentially the energy in the air in a situation. They're saying other people where you're feeling a bit tied down, right? Say it could be work, it could be within a contract, it could be a connection, right? However it ends up working for you, it feels more a physical location for some. But I do feel like this is going to feel rewarding, even if it doesn't feel like it. All right. I do sense that some of which may want to look at the clock, but Spirit's saying we advise you not to discourage you from acquiring any angel numbers or anything of the sort. But it feels like this is something where you have to stay in a specific location for a period of time, or you want something to be accomplished quicker. They're giving specifically somebody on a treadmill or a machine for working out. Try not to look at the clock, right? Just go for it. All right. And you'll surprise yourself how quickly that time flies by in one way, shape, or form. It feels like a productive day is what I'm hearing, but I feel like you are shining from within. And again, there's this focus on how you're feeling, how you're changing, glowing from within, and it's not meant to be a focus on your outer appearance as much, all right? There are plenty of days ahead where you will be admired and focusing on your good looks, right? And enhancing that all the meanwhile. But it's a day where it matters how you're feeling and how you're growing on a core internal level, all right? And I feel like other people will kind of sense you're going through that or focusing on that in one way, shape, or form. They're saying you're not the only one going through some stresses behind closed doors that you're wrapped up with throughout this day, or just energetically connected to. Look up the angel number meaning of 811, 811. But yeah, I feel like there's a certain level of stress that you're needing to cope with or have been recently, and that could be, they're saying, wearing on you a little bit, whether this is your spirituality playing into it. I feel like for some, and I know this is for me, dreams playing into it. It could be where you live, where you work, who you're dating, you name it. Could be family for some, right? Everybody's situation is different. And I feel like it's a day that reminds you as well on a certain level not to judge or to assume, even if you're very intuitive or predictive in nature. Just try to see, remember the fact that as you go through and have been through your own BS up until this point, and currently, once again, for some, you never know what someone else is going through as well or has been through. So just a reminder to be kind, to be nice, all the meanwhile. But another 4, so the number 44 coming out, I do feel, and I'm saying 99. Okay, we have the 9 of Pentacles and Swords. But the 10 of Pentacles and the 4 of Cups, because it feels like you have this vision of where you would be most comfortable, what would be perfect for you, whether it's a living situation, ideal job, right? An ideal location to run your business. It could be more so in regards to your financial health and wealth, all the meanwhile that you want and desire, want to go after, but then you're just kind of not in the mood. But Spirit's also saying, tying into this card, you need to remember what didn't work out in regards to whatever this is for you was not meant to last or even get off the ground once again, okay? But I feel like there is motivation in one way, shape, or form at certain points, even if that dips and comes back at certain points throughout the day when it comes to a new situation, or potentially wanting to go after something new for oneself that's meant to be quite abundant. But I feel like throughout this day where you're pushed to, again, look within, I just saw 1010 on the timestamp, highlighting the abundance once again. Throughout this day where you're meant to look within, and there's a lot of observing and just reflecting, but accomplishing all the meanwhile, and that praise and those compliments feeling quite gratifying through it all. Spirit saying your golden value is being highlighted for more than one reason as you change in a beautiful way within. All right. So I hope this was truly helpful. Sending you so much love and light. Go enjoy your Monday, and I'll see you next time.